Some vampire tools to check out. That's interesting. They said, you want to do a review on some of our tools? I think I've heard the name before. I'll have to open those up soon, but we're not here for that. We're here for a day in the shop. We're going to be making it work. I'm Jimmy if you're new and you're going, this guy doing tools? Is he spending a day in the shop? What's going on? We're going to go to work today. We're going to fix cars, probably Ferraris and a couple other little odds and ends here and there in between, as time allows. We got this torn down pretty good if you've seen the previous videos on it. Next thing is taking the valve covers off. BMW's running, by the way, out there. Let's go take a look at that. I think he still has to put the hood on it. There's no hood on it, but he did have it run yesterday, so that is cool. We'll get that bay back again. Even though it's been slow, we haven't really needed the bay, but it's nice to have it because those two outside bays are the only ones we can do big trucks and stuff like that on. Boom. You wouldn't think it'd be connected to that light, would you? There's a lot of things you wouldn't think, but don't worry about it. Just keep on rowing, keep making it work. Don't let them banjos close in. Sounds like they're getting louder. Oh, look at this thing. It runs. We're gonna, man, eventually we're gonna have this all cleaned up once this is running and done. I think we'll see. You guys know I like things a little organized. Clutter hurts my brain. What else is going on today? It's been kind of slow, except we've got quite a few walk-ins yesterday, so I looked at a couple other little things I didn't film in between Ferrari stuff, and then the alternator I filmed, which was a giant fiasco. They were strip bolts and frozen bolts, and so it took that job paid 1.8 hours, and it took 3 hours and 45 minutes because it was lifted and there's all kinds of weird stuff going on. A little bit of a body lift and a suspension lift. Only about 4 or 5 inches of lift altogether, but it still made everything just a little awkward to get to. Why the labor guide says 1.8, I don't know, because it looked like even if it wasn't lifted, it would have been pretty hard. I would have guessed 3 hours myself, but in any event, it's done. It was charging when I got done according to the gauge on the dash. Have a good day. Today, we have no idea what's going to happen yet, but I know we're going to learn things and have fun and listen to monster trucks go by with no exhaust. It's going to be so cool. Fast and Furious. I need a vacation. Did I tell you that I'm going on vacation soon? This Friday will be my last day in the shop day for a week. But I'll have a couple of videos. I made a couple of opinion videos and some things about the mechanic shortage and that kind of stuff. So look for those. Let's finish getting the shop open up and get started and stop flapping our gums with nonsensical, trivial things. Let's make it happen. Let's make it work. Stay tuned. Let's get these things opened up. See what we got. Let's open them both. Whoa. Fancy. First impressions. Very good. How tight is that? Nice. Vampire's logo on there. Handles feel good. Soft enough to get a grip, but not so soft that they feel mushy. Nice sharp teeth inside there. That's going to be handy. These are going to be really good for strip screws and stuff like on the Ferrari. I've been using my other ones, my engineer pliers. I showed you those. These are a kind of a similar thing, it looks like. Very similar. Even the molding's the same shape. Let's see. The heck? The Vampire box and the Matco catalog get along well. This one doesn't have a rubber booty on it. Nothing in the box for it. You guys tell me if that's the same tool or not. The shape of the rubber, the indentations, all these little things here. Turn it on its side. Turn it on its side. Oop, hey, get on your side, will you? That is the same exact tool. So I wonder who really makes it. The jaw inside of the vampire pliers, and then the jaw inside this one. Let's go like this. See how far they both open. Handle. That looks like the same exact tool with a different brand on it. That's interesting. They did send me a letter, which is nice, with their logo and address and all. It comes out of California. I think these are made in Taiwan. Let's see. Made in Japan. Aha. I'm going to find out if these engineer pliers were made in Japan. I think I bought these on Amazon for about $38. Neji Soros RX. I'm not sure what these cost. I have to look it up. I thought the handles felt a little familiar. Exactly the same. Cool. We're going to try them out. See how all that goes. And it's amazing, the tool industry. There's so many brands now. But I'm not sure how many manufacturers there are. If I was going to throw out a guess, I'd say, you know, there's 1,200 brands of tools and a few dozen manufacturers. But I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Let's finish getting the shop open up. Well, not desirable. Let's loosen them by hand. See if that helps. I gotta get this cover off to get this. It goes in like this, actually. But if I can't get the bolts out, it'll just be another thing in a list of fiascos. We're making it work, baby. First job of the day. Oh, twisted my Allen bit. That's unfortunate. None of them seem to want to come out.
Okay, cool.
We'll be fine. Don't worry, we'll be fine. I got more tools. Just got to dig into the specialty stuff now. It's fixing to get a little crazy. This has been pretty good. So, little tiny screws. I don't know why I assumed they would just pop right out. Silly. I could use an angle grinder and just cut slots, but I don't want to cut into this piece. I can replace the bolts. I don't know why you have these little tiny bolts so tight. But lately it seems like, I mean, I'm honestly not doing this for the show. It's everything, every single thing I've been doing lately is a chore. There's nothing. The days of seeing a problem, putting a part on, and moving on to the next one seem to be few and far between. I don't like that. Do not like it at all. Nothing I can do about it. Just keep doing my best. Just keep doing my best. Eventually it's going to come out. It's just a matter of what it'll take. 20 minutes? 2 hours? 3 hours? I don't know. Can't fit an impact in there to get that crank bolt loose. You have to lock the crank somehow. So, you gonna do this? might have to drill out the center of it, get the cover off, and then hopefully the broken pieces will come, the drilled pieces will come out, the threaded part, when there's no tension on it. Sometimes I'll just thread right out. I got a couple of them loose. I turned it almost a quarter of a turn and it still won't loosen with the Allen, because the Allen stripped it out of it. I'm just going to drill them out and see what happens. We'll go from there. Only one left. When I watched the video last night, Carter's Auto Restyling, he does a lot of restoration work. Quirky guy, really. He seems kind of funny. Seems like a decent guy to me. Very good metal worker. He's got to like 90-something thousand subscribers. And AI programs, or people using AI programs, are hijacking his videos, restructuring them, and pretending they're their own videos. And a couple of them have gotten millions of views. So they're taking away his viewers because they think it's him. But it's not. He complained to YouTube, and YouTube said, get a lawyer. I find that kind of interesting, because if I put 4 or 5 seconds of someone's music in my video, they take any revenue the video makes from me and give it to the person that wrote the 5 seconds worth of music. But when the creator has their entire video stolen, they say, get a lawyer. It's almost like they make it so you have to have a lot of money to make a lot of money, and if they're going to try to stop you any way they can. And like Kyle was saying in his video last night, that if he gets a lawyer and gets that one video taken down, what's he going to do about the other thousands of creators that are willing to steal your intellectual property to make their own videos? You have to keep getting lawyers over and over? I think he's thinking about stopping his YouTube channel. He's like, well, he said, I'm spending a bunch of money restoring these cars, and people that don't spend a penny just use an AI program to pirate my intellectual property. Kind of a super sketchy thing. AI is going to cause some trouble. And it won't hurt the people that have lots of money, because they have lawyers. Some of them have teams of lawyers on the payroll all the time. That's what the little people are competing against, I guess. What do you guys think? Is AI going to make things better or worse? So far it seems worse to me. Some random thoughts while I contemplate this repair. I really would like to polish that and stuff, but I'm going to clean some of that mess in there. And then we'll put our tool up and continue with the timing belts. Alright, this tool is Hill Engineering AV3207. Comes with screws and a place to keep the screws when you're not using the tool. That's interesting. I suppose it's gonna go up here in this pressure plate. I thought it was gonna be on these. I'm glad it's not. But it doesn't line up and go in, so that means I got to put the motor in a different position to put this in, and then I got to take this out and put it back at top dead center. All my marks I did. It's kind of strange. Why wouldn't you make this fit without doing it? How long before I go on vacation again? 2.5 days. That's good. We're gonna figure it out. Well, I took this little box out. I'm not sure why that's in front of the crank. Maybe for a collision or something, but this tool it's not machined to fit with the engine at top dead center. So that's why some of the guys I watched on video, they turn this so however they can get the tool in, they break the bolt loose, then they turn it, then they take the tool out and turn it back to top dead center. Why they wouldn't machine it to fit at top dead center, I don't know. Maybe because the pressure plate has different holes based on where it's mounted on a flywheel. It might not be the same every position. So in any event, I'm going to see what I can do to not use this tool and just hold the flywheel where it is and use my wrench to break it loose. Should be able to put a pry bar in here like we used to do in the old days, until they made special tools for it instead. I don't have the belts off or anything like that yet, so if it does turn, it's not a big deal. But hopefully it doesn't. We're stuck in the hole loose. Doggy. The bolt's a little tighter than I hoped. I haven't looked at the torque spec, but it's got to be up there. Pushing with your forearm is going to get it done. One time. Try not to step in the holes. You can see this lift is not ideal, but you step in the hole while you're breaking the bolt loose, and you have a bad time on vacation with a broken ankle. Okay, we're going to reposition it. We're going to lock the flywheel with this tool. I'll just have to turn it to see where this thing fits in. It's tight. That's a long ratchet too. It's not a breaker bar. It's a 1/2-inch Tecton ratchet, and it's about 24 inches long. So I'm guessing that bolt's 150, 175 foot-pounds. For these little tiny bolts, just hold it up so these teeth, it's actually going to hit right here, which is perfect. Oh, wait a second. Further back. That's not the right spot either. I'm going to keep trying. You get the idea. I'm going to get this in place and we'll come back. Okay, apparently you have to find the big window. When you get to the big window in the flywheel and pressure plate, then it will go in and line up with the bolt holes. Everything's so easy. Nothing. Now my plan is I'll take the tool off, go back to top dead center using the original crank pulley and bolt, get it back to top dead center, but it won't be so tight that I can't get it back out without locking the crank. Got to line back up. Now, where's that in a different spot? Because of the fact that this is a crank turning the gear, turning the pulleys, the cams are actually turning backwards compared to the crankshaft. I'm trying to think this through. Looking up at the cams, the white marks that have the line in them are the ones that go to the top of the head, and the white marks with no line in them are the ones I added just to see them next to each other side by side. These marks are off because I have to basically turn this crankshaft 4 revolutions, because this turns at half the speed of the crank And then the cams, I think, turning half the speed of that. At least it seems that way, because this marks 180 out and those are lined up correctly up top. So these marks won't matter. That's attached to the crank. I can make some more marks so I don't have to turn the engine over 2 more times. You know what I could do as an experiment is turn it anyway and see. I'm gonna do that. Interesting. We learned something today. I love learning stuff. Now, the bolt's only tight enough to turn the engine with no spark plugs. So you should be able to break it loose a little easier. Should be able to break it loose. That's quite a bit better than buying a special crankshaft spacer tool. That crankshaft locking tool is like $175 or something ridiculous, $150, something like that. Now I got all my marks lined up except those crank pulleys, because apparently I got to turn them even more. And I'm not gonna, because it doesn't matter. What matters is the crankshaft and the cams. These jack shaft pulleys, they're related to the crankshaft, but the marks are gonna end up in all different positions until I keep turning it enough to get my previous marks lined up again. I'm not going to do that. This doesn't serve a purpose. Since I haven't taken the belts off, when these cams are lined up, the crank is a top dead center, so we're good. And hopefully you can get the tool back once you get your socket loose, your bolt loose. Probably shouldn't use a ratchet that locks, but it's the only one I had. There it is. The bolt has still got a thread lock on it, I suppose. Oh. Into the abyss. Uh-oh. I thought that was going to slide right off of there. Silly. That would be easy. It's not going to happen that way. I didn't think that crank pulley was going to come off, so I sprayed a little Croil on the pulley. It looks like there was thread lock everywhere. Sprayed it with Croil, went out and helped Jace put the exhaust in the BMW. Came back, slid right off. Everything's coming up roses on this thing. Try not to drop it down. The problem is, with one arm I'm holding myself up, and I'm working with the other arm, so I don't really have full use of this hand. Unless I'm willing to fall forward by lifting both arms. So, see what I'm talking about? Even the car wizard can't provide this level of entertainment. Tell me I'm wrong. I was just kidding, you don't have to. Now, I'm not sure what the vice grip tension is. I'm guessing about 20 foot-pounds or so. I'm also not sure what direction. Ferrari doesn't specify. I'm going to guess on that. I think that should be pretty good. Shouldn't go anywhere, right? Sadly, the only way to find out is to loosen stuff and see what happens. So, let's do that. Weird is the bolt for this tensioner is under the belt. That doesn't mean it has to be on. It has to be bolted completely on before you can put the belt on. That's weird. You would think the tensioner would have like 2 bolts here or something so that you could remove it to get the belt off, but not my concern, is it? I'm going to loosen this. I think we should be alright. I'm going to do one belt at a time. I'm a little nervous, I gotta say. Let's see what happens. My plan is to use these to adjust it. And you're supposed to adjust this mechanical eccentric until there's a 2mm gap between the bracket and the hydraulic tensioner housing. Right now you can see it's quite a bit more. I'm going to grab a feeler gauge real quick, we'll measure it. But I got a 17 to loosen that, and 13s for this once the belt's out of the way. Got all new parts. I'm hoping I can get enough. I know on like Mitsubishis and other cars with this style, this will work pretty good. I'm hoping it's strong enough for this application. We'll find out. If not, I got other tools. They make a specialty tool for it that you can put in here and still fit a thin wall socket in there. But we don't have that, so we'll get by without it. We'll make it work. My biggest feeler gauge goes up to 0.762 millimeters, or 0.30. But if I stack these last three together, 0.711, 0.737, 0.762, we should be about 2.11 millimeters, right? Give or take. That's about right. So this should not fit in there, but it fits in there pretty easily. So we're probably over 2.5 millimeters or so. So it's on the outside of specifications. It's not horrendous. I thought it was going to be worse, to tell you the truth. So when I put it all back together, I want this to not fit in there, or just barely. Because they're separated too, there's a slight tolerance discrepancy there. What I can do is I can go to the next three combined, and they'll be a little bit less. So we'll be at 0.63, 0.66, 0.686. So 1.8 plus 9, 17, 0.170 millimeters plus 1.8. So about 1.9 plus, right? Those three. You can see there's quite a bit of play with that, but that's about where I want the new one to be. I'm going to save that. Oh, let's measure it and verify too. Well, we got the other dial indicator here. Saying 2 millimeter. So if this won't barely not fit in, or I can force it in there, then I know we're close. That 2 millimeters about specification. All right. Here goes nothing. I'm hoping this is tight enough. I don't think it takes a lot of force to hold the cams from spinning. All you're trying to do is not let the valve spring force the cam lobe to move. It's not like there's 200 foot-pounds of force on it, but I still don't like it very much. Now they tell you to put the pin in here, but we're not reusing the tensioners, so I'm not concerned with that. Take this completely out. And I watched a guy in a video too, he was fighting to get all this on here. I mean, really fighting it hard, because he had everything together and the pulley on and everything. He was trying to get it on the cam pulleys. I don't know why you wouldn't line it up without any slack on this side and then bolt that pulley in, but maybe you can't do it. I'll find out when I try. I know I can take the tensioner out of here now. And they say these brackets can crack too, but I don't see anything on it. I don't want to drop any more hardware. I have to lift the car up again, like I did for the crank bolt. I don't think I filmed it because of all the childish carrying on. Let's gather some parts and see what we got. And these tensioners are not the same like I thought. This one has a bushing in it. This one does not. Interesting. The idler pulleys are the same. The belts look beautiful. Of course, if you know, it's got a face like this. Made in Italy. Looks like the one without the bushing in it goes on this side. Well, you know what? I have to look up the torque specs for this. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to play around on this thing. See what the torque is for that. Now when you tension this, all of a sudden this pin will loosen up and it will kind of float in the bore. Then you measure this gap and see how close it is. I don't know what, it's a gray area, what you have to do to adjust it if it's not right. Because once you've unloaded the pin, you should be in the ballpark, right? According to my calculations. I can't even put this on yet now that I think about it because it's got to go like that. Whoop. I got to torque this first before the belt's in the way. Seems like it's only been a second since we've been together. It's been longer, but let's roll with it. 20 Newton meters, well, 25 Newton meters, 20 foot-pounds. Let's put it that way. Don't bump into your vice grips holding your cams in place while you're doing it. That's pretty close. Oh, I could have shipped it. That's good though, I feel better. This is an updated tensioner for the other side. And the bracket's updated too because I see the tensioner has already been updated, so the belt's been done before. That's good. Even though the car's got some years on it, it's been done. That is a good thing. Now, if I can get all this over here. Keep this in place. Get our bolt. Shoulder goes in the back. Now you can see what I've done is there's no slack on this side of the belt where there's no tensioner. There's no slack between the cams. I do want to walk this back a little bit. It's pretty centered on the pulley. It will center itself. The ridge on the bottom gear, bottom pulley, keeps the belt centered. There's nothing on top to center it, just centrifugal force, I suppose. But now this is my plan. So I'm going to get my tools ready. I'm going to buzz it in with an electric tool, but I'm not going to get crazy on the tension. It has to be properly torqued as well. But I'm going to have my tool ready to go because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to hold it and measure it and tighten it. We'll see. You got to give it a couple seconds. Hydraulic tensioners. Not going to be too happy about the whole thing. Quite a bit of force. I might need to put a wrench on here or something like that because I don't have the special tool. Oop, that won't hurt anything. Let's snug this up so it doesn't keep unwinding. It's still unwinding. Okay. Let's get about a 12mm wrench. See if we can load that some more because I'm going to have to measure this. It's way too high right now. Let's see what size open-end wrench fits that. Turns out my pliers are 11mm wide. Now when this gets under 2mm, the pin should be floating in there too at the same time, I hope. Oh, slipped out. Dang it. That's why the special tool would be nice. Oh yeah. We are pretty close right there. I'm going to take it. hopefully that little slip didn't let the measurement change. Yeah, it might have. I can feel the pin. It's got drag on it, like it's either too tight or too loose, and since my apparatus fell out, I'm going to guess too loose. I don't even know what it's tight. I can't get this in. So this must have tightened it as I hit it with my unpack. So now the pin's on the other way is dragging a little bit, pushing it down onto the pin rather than up. Interesting. I didn't think that would happen that easily, but it did. So we'll make another attempt. We'll have to loosen it up and try again. I really kind of wish I had that tool. Maybe I'll have to make something. You see, this won't quite fit in. Let's try the next size up. 550, 580, and 610. So we're at 11.2. We're at 1.8 millimeters. And that fits in there. That's about where we're at, 1.8. I gotta look the spec up. Even though this is dragging, the clearance here is what everyone's talking about the most. 1.8 to 2 millimeters, what I think I remember. If that's what it was, I'm pulling that pin and I'll torque this and then I'll pull the pin and we'll be good to go. If it's dragging on the pin a little, but my gap is correct, I think the gap's more critical than the pin, but can't have both apparently. Okay, 1.8 is a little bit loose now. What I'm finding is as you tighten or torque it, it adds tension and moves that gap. So you got to start a little on the loose side, and as you torque it, remeasure it. 50 Newton meters, and lots of trial and error. Let's put it that way. 1.8 will just barely not fit. The specification that I saw was 1.8 to 2 millimeters, so I gotta keep trying until I get just a hair more clearance, and the pen will be dancing a little easier then too. There, I'm calling it. That's pretty good. We're gonna take it. That's about 6 attempts, and I've got it where I can just get the edge of the 1.8 in there. That's good. So I can unlock this cam, but I don't want to. I want it to help hold things while I do the other side, just in case it matters. Probably doesn't. Alright, need a longer extension. But I was going to zip that off on camera real quick. See, the bushing's offset a little bit too. Very interesting. Don't worry, we got new ones. The rest of this is going to be the same as the other side. Just that it's more awkward with the tube in the way from the hose. The manager's in the office inside, the glass door in the end.
It's locked.
Huh? The glass door all the way in the end.
This door is locked.
The next door over.
Okay.
Alright, next. Yeah. Nice. Well, the pin's got a little bit, just like the other side did the same thing, I guess. I should just rock it, right? Just rock it. This is 1.8. Yeah, fits in there. It's good. Timing belts installed. Well, let's get some better thread locker. I'm gonna put some thread locker on here. Get this here bolt back in. Get the pulley tightened up. And then I think we'll do the valve covers. I'm gonna do the valve covers with the timing covers off, just because of this one nut that goes on here. I just feel like it could drop in here easily. And then we'll have to take the covers back off. I don't want to do that. So we'll just button up the crank pulley and start on the valve covers. Close enough to get my tool back on there. We could torque it up. Torque spec 144 foot-pounds. I did a restoration on the screws, made them all into flathead screwdriver screws. So, I did it on all of them. This was the worst that I really did not want to let go. But, it'll be a flathead now, that's all. They're very unusual sizes. Flathead too, so... And this isn't anything load bearing. I don't know why they were so tight. Oh, that's alright. Feel bad about it, but we will adapt and we'll overcome. I mean, just that's worth the subscription alone. For you driving rookies out there, when you have a car that's pretty low to the ground, don't back all the way up to the yellow curb stops, because it puts marks on everything, and you know, just get kind of close to it and stop. You don't have to go until you bump it. We're going to drop the spark plugs in, start on the valve covers. These have like a 10mm thread on them. Tiny little threads. Performance. Definitely going to finish these off by hand. Starting the valve covers. Tight squeeze. What's interesting is these little washers too. Definitely want to get them off. I think I might need to use my chrome socket. It's a little bit thinner. One of the reasons I wanted the spark plugs in first. Oh, the toner's back. Cool. There he goes. He big mad. Customer request. Customer's parts. He says now the belt squeals. It didn't do that before. He declined the inspection, the diag, everything. And I worked on it almost 4 hours for 1.8 hours. And now he's back wanting free stuff. I don't know why they keep working on stuff like that. Well, I'm not paying your markup. Okay, I understand. Have a good day. I've never worked on someone's car that wants to supply their own parts. Well, I shouldn't say never. 1 out of 20 times it goes smoothly. 19 out of 20 times they're a problem. They don't want you to make any money and they're mad at you after you work on their car and did what they asked you to do. No matter what. Do not do it. That's my advice. But I'll probably be doing it tomorrow. We'll see. He's like, your guy didn't tighten my belt tensioner. It's got a spring-loaded tensioner. Oh, don't be upset about it. Life gives you lemons. Make lemonade. And helping somebody out is one thing. But taking in work from somebody that doesn't want you to make any money, it's going to be a problem. It always is. I had one guy tell me not long ago, I'm suing the last mechanic that worked on it. Can you squeeze me in today? No? No, I cannot. And it's always somebody, la cucaracha. And it's always somebody with 200,000 miles on their car, 250,000 miles on their car. They don't want to buy a new car. They don't want to pay to fix their old car. They want you to touch it and be responsible for it. Anyway, moving on. Ooh, doggy. Put a bolt in here. Use as a handle. Ooh, that thing looks like brand new in there. That's pretty. See this gasket, you have to cut these pieces out where the seals go. But it's easier for them to make it in one piece, so you don't lose the little pieces, I guess. Very interesting design. You gotta make sure this little piece is off the engine. That goes towards the timing cover, which now I'm really glad I left the timing cover off. I didn't realize how little that piece is. So I'm gonna cut this off, and just that square goes on the cylinder head. There's cam seals here, so it's amazing the way they did it. I'm just glad to see how nice the engine looks inside. I'm gonna clean all this up. Use my carbon scraper, I think. There's O-rings that go here, but they go on the cylinder head. And they're separate from the gaskets too. So by the time you're done, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 separate pieces to seal up the valve cover. That's why they say about every 3 or 4 years they leak, but sometimes sooner. So what Ferrari does, instead of saying they shouldn't leak, they just say replace the gaskets every 3 years. Oh, look at that mess. Just get a Scotch lock pad and whiz these off of here, right? I don't think so. Homie, don't play that. I want all the old silicone off. Let's go. I'm gonna finish scraping these gasket remnants off. Put it in the parts wash. I want to try to clean that fuel leak stain off of it. I put my little O-rings on the spark plug holes already, so I wouldn't have to worry about it. I'm trying not to scratch it too much. You're gonna put micro scratches in it, but nothing like what a Scotch lock pad would do. Scotch lock pad's like 40 grit. Even the mildest ones. Finish cleaning this up. Now, of course, you got to pay attention. There is an inside and an outside. There's a little kick in this one, not in that one. A lot of guys cut with razor blades, but I got these really cool Icon flush cutters. They should work. Gotta be the first time in my career I've cut a gasket, but hey, I've made gaskets from scratch. I never took one out of a box new and cut it up. I hear you Ferrari guys going, crap baby, what's the big deal? We do it on every single car we work on. I got some of the world's best ultra black RTV. I'm gonna put some in here. They have RTV on all the small pieces and the corners, so that's what I'm gonna do. It's like building a model. If my arms were a little more than 12 inches long, that would probably help. But you make do with what you got. Apparently you need a hose pick tool to do this job. Got a little RTV extra in the front because there's no gasket there, it just rides on the side of the seal. Better design, I just fixed it. The rumor is we get about 4 to 10 working minutes. Bottom section, run an RTV down the whole thing. Hope nobody gets sad about it, but just a little bit. I'm not putting it on very heavy. I'm hoping it won't be leaking any year. Even though everyone says they always leak. There's a bushing on a couple of these bolts to bind the valve cover up, I suppose. Now, and I have the cleanest, fast and that's a BMW. You ruined it. Fast and furious. The bottom edge is right here, so you're going all the way down. If you go way too slow and neat, the RTV will start to set up on the other pieces you already put on. So sadly, you don't have time to be as neat as I'd like. Normally a robot does it. And the robot goes, puts it on, done. My O-rings are all in place on the spark plug tubes. You want to make sure you don't knock your cam seals because they can move now that the valve cover holds them back, which is really cool. Now we gather all our nuts. We're going to put our nuts all over this thing and torque them down to 89 inch-pounds. Oh my goodness gracious. My chest and the ribs are killing me. And this is only one side. I gotta do the other side tomorrow. Oh boy.
Y'all got the used tires there on the back side?
We don't do used tires.
Y'all don't have any? For us to pick up?
We might have some tires for scrap.
You know what I'm saying? For us to pick up, the Liberty pickup?
Go inside and talk to Jose. I'm at the glass door. I don't make the rules, I just play by them. Don't get mad at me. I'm not really in the mood, I'll bust your ass. Last one should be number one, right? It can't be number one because you're number one. That's number two, probably. It's the only way it makes any sense. Another angry customer. 3 of them today. Mistaken mechanics, you can charge me for this and charge me for that. You can't just take a quick look at it. Where are the professionals that happen? Try walking down to a construction site one day and watching the carpenters all work, and I just go walk up to a random carpenter and go, hey, can you hang the door for me? I just live a few houses down. Can you come hang a door for me real quick? It'll only take you a minute. Well, are you going to charge me? My neighbor said he could do it for 2 beers and a slice of pizza. You probably won't make it out of there without a hammer in your skull. That is good stuff. Radiator hose said nope. Thanks for watching today, guys. I'm beat. 5:01. I'm done. This thing is kicking my butt. My chest is killing me from laying on this ridge and having these 16-inch arms or 12-inch arms, whatever they are. Woo boy, they're like little T-Rex arms trying to reach stuff. I can't even hardly reach my 10 millimeter. Hope you enjoyed today's video. A lot of stuff happening off camera with crazy customers and stuff. I can't film that stuff. It's amazing. People are amazing. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and maybe you'll torque the like button. I know 3 people that won't, because every video there's 3 or 4 dislikes out of hundreds and hundreds of likes. So every video is the same 3 or 4 people making sure they dislike it, which is pretty funny. But I appreciate that because the algorithm likes that just the same. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope I see you in another video. You're awesome.